And a very warm welcome back to the beach. We'll take an aerial flyby of the Chambre d'Amour in Anglet. You can just see a little poke of the foothills of the Pyrenees poking out in the background as we take in a morning view on final Saturday in France. Let's check out Tessa Thyssen taking on Yolanda Hopkins. Yolanda getting the big win up in Lacanau. Let's welcome back into the studio Romain Lollet to talk us through another exciting matchup, mate.
Yes, exactly. The two powerhouse surfers, Tessa Thyssen from France, a bit more local here than Yolanda. And the Portuguese surfer in red, Yolanda Hopkins. She can count on a strong support also from the Portuguese competitors on the beach. It's going to be a great matchup. Let's say they're going to throw tons of water in the air because those two surfers are really powerful.
All Portuguese winners up in Lacanau in our previous event. Not going to happen this time out because we don't have any Portuguese surfers in the men's side of the draw. But Yolanda mentioned that she'd love to go for another win here in France.
Yeah, and Tessa went on the first wave of the heat. Small wave, bit of white water just to warm up the walks and the feet, maybe. Yes, Yolanda, she would love, of course, to clinch a win here in Anglet. She's a super positive surfer, really engaged in her surfing, strong attack. Also, pretty nice style for a powerful surfer. And she never gets back. She never leave a hit until the last second. Ariane Ochoa, pretty released, I think, reaching the final today.
Yeah, she'll be absolutely delighted, particularly on a 3,000, which offers obviously more points for our surfers, a really important one for putting yourself in contention for Challenger Series. Someone who also really wants to do that is Hopkins with an aggressive first turn, nice and vertical. A nice kind of bit of fizz there to her surfing just from the initial speed of entry. Just the one maneuver though. And we've talked about it before, I'll mention it again. Never ceases to amaze me, the training program of Yolanda. She's basically up at 5 a.m. every day, runs 10 Ks in the dark, where everyone else is still basically sleeping in bed. By the time you get to an event, you know, we rock up in the morning a little bit before dawn normally for the broadcast, and we're thinking, well, it's early. She's already been up 4 hours. She's like run a marathon, had 3 surfs. She's definitely the earliest riser on tour.
Yeah, amazing. And we do have those two surfers are hard workers, so it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes throughout the heat. Here we can see the replay of Yolanda. Not making a lot of this wave, but you can tell she's in a great shape and feeling good on her surfboard. Surfing a different surfboard than yesterday, of course. A pinky surfboard today. Maybe a lighter and shorter surfboard because the waves obviously are a lot more softer. Tessa Thyssen is surfing with a local shaper brand, RT Surfboard. It might help her also to stick to those waves. And she has worked pretty hard throughout the year to find the right equipment. She did an amazing physical training work with her boyfriend also. He's filming her on the beach. He's actually his boyfriend, but also his coach. We saw that with Joan Defay. It worked quite well, let's say. A bit more lows today than yesterday. Yesterday we saw a lot of energy from the ocean. Today you might have to pick a bit more the wave and wait for those better waves. But on the other side, you don't want to add too much pressure on your shoulders by waiting for the bomb, you know?
Yeah, you can see that rip just getting into it a little bit, and there's not loads of energy on the incoming swell, and just kind of working against it a little. Late entry here for Tessa. And really, in these kind of conditions, you need to kind of drop down straight out the takeoff really to have a hope of making it around onto any kind of meaningful section. Just a little speculative effort early on. Hopkins with the best of the scoring, but nothing of major significance as yet. Yolanda is just full of battle, and she will be giving this her all. And also, we talk about momentum coming off that win. She's tasted that winning feeling. She's pretty disappointed not to make it to challenges last time out. She came pretty close, but essentially, it all came really down with the way the women's season was. It all came really down to the Azores. That was like the one big event they had. She made a mistake in the heat, got knocked out. And as you mentioned before, she did pretty well in some of the 1000s, but they're kind of just training exercises, really. It's all about doing well in the bigger events. So she's got the victory in the 1000 in Lacanau. How can she go in the 3000 in Anglet? Well, she's one heat away from a final, and she's got a wave here. Hopkins, out of Portugal, an Olympian, no less. And she'll tag it nice and hard for a finish. Unable to really go top to bottom on that way, but did get a little finish in. And most importantly, she got it completed.
And she has a really nice technique, bending her back knee to release the pressure of the fin on top of the wave. It's something really impressive from those powerhouse surfers. You can see she's taking a lot of speed in order to end this wave nicely. She has a strong front foot, and here she releases the power of the tail of the surfboard by adding an extra weight on her front foot, and bending the back knee helps a lot to release the pressure on your back foot.
Coming from a part of Portugal, it's blessed with good waves that we don't know so much about compared to some of the main surf towns down there, but she has amazing training grounds, beach breaks, a couple of points as well, and able to really get loads of experience in a variety of conditions, which you will need for a successful QS campaign. In the meantime, let's go and hear from Caroline Saran, who's roaming down the beach. What have you got for us, Caro?
Yes, thank you, guys. I'm here with Ariane Ochoa from the Basque Country, winner of the first semi-final of the women of the Rip Curl Pro Anglet. Ariane, was a slow hit. Waves are smaller today. It was a bit tricky to find a good one. You find one at the beginning of the hit, 6.33, with many turns on it. Can you talk to us about your impression of the hit?
It was a slow hit, as you say. I tried to start quick. I think that was the thing of my hit. I found 4 point something in one turn, and after stride without priority, I take a smaller one, but was a good one and I have been able to make some turns, and yes, happy to find that way, because after starts the wind to pick up and the conditions started to get worse.
And did you adjust your equipment from yesterday that it was bigger? Did you change the board maybe?
Yeah, I changed. Yesterday was a bigger board, and today, yes, I changed for the smaller waves. But maybe I have to change again for the final because it's getting hard.
Yeah, well, I'll let you have a rest, and congratulations, and we'll see you in the final just in a few moments.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Gracias.
Thank you. First finalist, who's she going to take on? We one of these two. And we caught, again, that aggression from Yolanda Hopkins, belting it hard on the end section there, Roman.
Yes, she looks like pretty hungry, Yolanda. She wants to build those scores. She has a few low scores, a 4.0, a 4.67, but seems like she really wants to make it to the final. Here we have Tessa surfing also on her backhand. Waves have changed a little bit since the first hit of the day, huh?
Yeah, not quite so clean on the face, is it? A little rip running through it. Bang. It's nicely done. You think what she's got to work with there, not loads, and manages to sort of squeeze everything out, really. That's crucial. Gets that little technical adjustment you mentioned, tucking the back knee in. So that slight release of the tail just shows us something a little bit different, rather than just kind of redirecting and letting the wave push her back down. She actually kind of forces herself a little bit, does a dynamic turn, gets out ahead. And the judges, you know, can use those differences to try and use the scale. That's what they want to do, essentially. And let's see where that one goes. We're waiting for numbers. Meanwhile, here's Tessa. Nice and smooth as ever. Off the bottom, a little clip. And it is pretty smooth and polished, but she's going to need to find something with a bit more energy than that, just in terms of what the wave is offering for her.
It's always tough in France with those changing tides and the high range of those tides. The conditions are you need to adapt so much, but Tessa knows it. We talked about it earlier today, and she knew she had to adapt with this outgoing tide. The current is getting stronger and stronger. The waves are a bit more distracted by the current. And for now, Yolanda is taking advantage of those conditions, and it looks like she's going to pick a nice one.
Here goes Hopkins. A little bit of bump on the face. She deals with it pretty well. Whoa. Throwing in the little 360, or trying to, and she's annoyed with herself. It's obviously a maneuver she does in free surfing relatively easily, but just maybe not quite with the down-the-line glide and speed for that turn. But I like the variety from her.
And this is a sign also that she's a lot more released than Tessa, maybe a bit more concerned about the result, showing that she's here to surf and enjoy also the surfing and the waves. And you can tell she got inspired by Kelly Slater doing this little roto.
Yeah, Yolanda Hopkins' confidence never really an issue for her. She'll always be backing herself. Tessa Thyssen, I feel like to get her confidence kick-started in this, really similar story to a Nat Lelor in the first semi. She just needs a wave. She just needs to get 2 or 3 turns done at speed together. As soon as you do that, you can almost kind of feel the tension go out of the body. You can kind of see it from here. And our surfers are then find it much easier to open up. But at the moment, she's just sort of surfing a little bit within herself, unable to get out of the threes, has a high number. By contrast, Yolanda, without really catching anything of major quality, she's just kind of chipping away and just nudging that score up a bit, Roman.
I think the problem on your backhand in those kind of conditions is to get speed. Yolanda is using the foam. You know, she can like pump a little bit more in the wave to get more speed and then do turns. Tessa needs to find this speed to hit maybe a bit stronger than Yolanda the lip on her backhand, but for now she has to pick better waves. That's the critical part of surfing on your backhand in those kind of conditions.
Still overall pretty low numbers, so despite the fact she's chasing, she's not looking really for huge scores. Think about the single wave requirement of a 6, but overall 9.8 for Hopkins in 2 waves, so really a couple of 5s there or thereabouts can easily turn this around, and you can get them pretty quick in these kind of conditions. So Tessa just needs to stay positive, stay in this, and find herself a bit of speed, as you mentioned, Roman, on the backhand. Really important, that entry, it feels like. You think about the way the waves started off for Ariana Ochoa, just getting that kind of steep drop that gives you that kick in. You get the first turn, you go nice and steep on that, and then from doing that turn, it kicks into the next section. Those waves are out there. It's just a question of finding them.
That's it. It's always the question. Surfing is crucial. And something is approaching maybe for Tessa right here.
Thyssen pushing hard. And again, a little awkward section. So she'll go down. She's not had much go away so far. The first half of the heat, advantage Hopkins. 15 minutes yet, more to come. We're going to get a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be deciding our second women's finalist. We've got the men's semis. And, of course, both finals to come. Finals day at the Rip Curl Pro Anglet. We'll be right back.
Run, swim, surf. For the women who want to rewrite the game, we made this for you.
Rip Curl.
Alors, c'est cool. Bonjour.
We're on our holidays. School is over and it's time for better days. I get bored on my own. Summer's not a time to be all alone. Play out with me. Play out with me. Play out with me.
Yes, that time again. Leveling up, doing my thing. Yes, that time again. Defending the title, king of the ring. It's that time again. Don't wanna win, I'm cutting you off, cause it's that time again. Yeah, it's that time again. Yeah, it's that time again. Leveling up, doing my thing, yes, that time again. Defending the title, king of the ring, it's that time again.
The beach goes out to Louis Oil. The seed has erupted at lower trestles.
Welcome back to our second semi-final. Live coverage from the Rip Curl Pro Anglet. Yolanda Hopkins on a bit of a tear on this wave and a real spring in her step. She uses that amplitude to go up, push high, hit the lip hard with speed, maintain it, and even finishes off in a roman. Even just looking at the way she kicked it out of that wave under, carrying all that speed, just gives the judges a real point of difference.
Yeah, I think so. The wave selection also maybe have played into account. Let's see what she did early on this wave. Yeah, a little speed turn and then a nice off the lip re-entry. So a lot of speed you mentioned, Paul, and this might play into the judges' mind to get a nice score. Here, Tessa with a pretty fat wave. Huh?
Yeah, managed to get first turn through a bit of spray, and that one just went real deep on. I went into a bit of a hole, and unable to get the inside section once again for Tessa. It's been that sort of story from her. Let's get another look.
Hey, pretty nice one. And then, unfortunately, this wave flattens her. And so the wave selection on your backhand is maybe a bit more crucial than on your forehand.
So we're in for numbers. No change there in terms of Yolanda, as far as we can tell. It's as we were. She's in the lead in this. She's caught the better waves. She's done slightly better surfing on them, but she's not really been able to kind of ram home that advantage thus far. 11.5 on the clock. She's not yet got into double figures. It's relatively surprising for Yolanda, and that's just a reflection, really, on the sort of waves that have come through in this one. It's been a little bit starved of quality in terms of our offerings from the ocean. Priority is with Hopkins. She got the first wave of that exchange, so she'll look to use it again here. Tessa Thyssen has to make way. Here goes Hopkins. Bang. That was nice. Down the line, onto the rail. So 3 distinct turns, and she'll get a 4th done there. And if she gets a finish as well, I reckon she'll improve her score there. The backup could get improved. Possibly another mid-range number to get into double figures. Let's see what the judges make of it.
She fought so much all the way through this wave. It was not an easy wave to surf. It was not really powerful, so she had to find the speed here with the first foam claim, and then bing, as you said, smashing the lip here, wrapping the carve, and then fighting against this really soft wave to find some speed and add 2 more turns. So this could be maybe the best wave of the heat. So step by step, she's improving, building her scoreline, and she really shows that she wants to go into the final.
No downtime between the maneuvers as well. She's always in a sort of a dynamic body position. The speed is always there. The energy's up the whole way through. And we're going to hear from her brother. He's with Caroline Sahin.
Yeah, guys, I am here with Riff, Yolanda's sister. Brother, sorry. 2 times this morning. Riff, how your sister was feeling this morning approaching this final day?
She said, of course, it was a bit smaller than yesterday. Of course, she can do big turns, but she had to take a smaller board with more volume, of course, so she could do more turns on the smaller waves. But, of course, she's always feeling confident that she's going to win. You always have to. You can never feel doubt about yourself. But I think that's practically what she thinks. No, nothing in her head, because she has to be clean before heat.
Okay, and did she have a special strategy with the coach this morning?
The strategy is always trying to catch the most waves you can, so you can always have a consistent score. Never let the other opponent get the more waves than you, because it has to be always a constant pressure. So if you let your opponent catch as many waves as they want, you will lose, most definitely.
Well, looks like it's working well for the moment. She's still having the lead, and I saw she took another good one, so we're going to watch her closely. Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Thank you.
All right, great stuff. Interesting insight there from the Hopkins camp. I don't think she did improve with that last one. That's quite surprising. I thought the score would go up there.
Yeah, 4.63, so that's why I'm not a judge.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. She's
So,
still in the lead.
You see, there's still the judges want to see big turns, major turns, and not a combination of smaller turns.
So just kind of snipping away at that wave. But nevertheless, even though it doesn't add to her score, she's just kept that physical energy going. And really, there hasn't been a sort of single scrap of water that she's left alone out here in this heat. Anything when she's got priority, she's taken it, and she's put herself about in all sorts of positions on the wave, and just really showing that she's very much up for this task. Tessa Thyssen, by contrast, has been a lot more measured. Even on the waves themselves, she's looks really smooth, but she does need to find herself just a little bit more of an aggressive approach to unlock the scoring potential of the waves. As the time ticks down, now 7.5 minutes, this is going to go really quick.
Yeah, and pressure is getting higher and higher for Tessa right now. Can you imagine, since the beginning of this heat, 17 waves surfed already? Not in terms of quality, but quantity, it's huge. Lucky the surfers are, because it's not tough to make it back to the outside. The current does not look too strong, but as you said, yeah, time is ticking, and Tessa must feel a lot of pressure right now, and I'm scared she might lose her nerves in this end of the heat.
Yolanda Hopkins still in the lead in this one. 6 minutes and 40 to go. Priorities with Tessa Thyssen. Next wave crucial for her. She needs a 6.17, the score to go to first and get into a final here in a hometown event. 6 minutes is plenty of time to get that wave. Hopkins is wasting very little time on basically taking off on anything that comes through. We talked about the training she does, and she will be very much up for just hoovering up anything that comes throughout the ocean, and unable to add much in terms of points to it, but she'll just keep surfing. She will just keep on surfing. Under 6 minutes now. It's our view from our drone on the little fly past out the back. And we'll see one of our first men's semi-finalists, Ramzi Boukiam, taking on Tim Bissot. That is a great looking matchup of the Goofies. Can't wait to see how that one goes down.
Yeah, this one is going to be amazing to watch. And Tessa maybe taking a nice wave here. First nice turn. Whoa, backing it up with another one. And unfortunately, you see, the pressure comes to play in those end of the heat.
It does certainly feel like those kind of mornings where there's energy in the ocean, but maybe not necessarily both surfers are going to get a bunch of good waves. And sometimes it's just one of the pair that manages to sort of unlock. And if you get on the wrong side of that, it can just feel a little bit like after a certain amount of time out in the water and you're unable to post a score, look, nothing's really going your way. I mean, we all get that feeling just when you go for a surf, but particularly in the heat.
It's terrible. And especially with the outgoing tide also, we know the rhythm can slow down, and it's terrible. Surfing is crucial sometimes. Cruel, not crucial.
Both. I'd say both, all the above. Am I tripping thinking that Tim Bissot does a bit of windsurfing? Did I make that up?
I've never seen him.
I think I've seen pictures of him.
Okay.
Yeah. He's not going to be doing that today. He's just going to be sticking to conventional board surfing. He's got a great looking first semi against Ramzi Boukiam. In the meantime, let's check out the recap of our first semi and see how this one's gone down. Yolanda Hopkins taking on Tessa Thyssen. And Tessa struggled a bit, Roman.
Yes, Tessa on her backhand struggled to find the better waves in this heat. And we can say that Yolanda built her scores on average wave quality, but she did a lot of effort on each wave to maximize the scores. She has a pretty nice technique. She gets a bit more speed than Tessa on those waves, and she's capable of comboing those turns. But the wave selection was on the side of Yolanda definitely in this heat. And here she's adding a little extra push with the release of her fins. Tessa on her backhand, tagging the lead here in the foam. Unfortunately, the wave is not really well shaped. And Yolanda, step by step, you know, with a bunch of low scores, taking the control of this heat, sitting on a 5-1-3 and a 4-6-7 at this stage. Tessa with her best wave surfed on the screen, a 4.70 with a first quite nice turn, and then unfortunately this wave flattens. So wave selection is really important today, but also the reason. How can you find the reason in those hits? Maybe taking a lot of waves and not overthinking. And you were right, Paul.
Yeah, I'm just creeping through Bisso's Instagram there. Found he doesn't mind a bit of the windsurfing. Windy part of the world he comes from in Guadeloupe.
Especially there, yes, definitely.
So Hopkins still in the driving seat in this, but Thyssen has improved. She's given herself a bit of an opportunity, and now looking for the 5-1-1. She'll go left here. It's not something we're going to say that much. Bang. Nice second turn, and she just buries it a little on the nose and goes incomplete. And she'll be annoyed. 2 minutes to get back in the lineup and find herself a 5.
Yeah, a bit of mistiming and a lack of speed maybe for Tessa in those kind of conditions. We saw she ripped yesterday with powerful waves, and she had to adapt maybe a bit more, you know, energy in her surfing. We saw Yolanda giving a lot of effort, as here she could have tagged a pretty nice top turn, unfortunately digging the nose under the water.
All right, last 90 seconds now. Tessa Thyssen has given herself a position and an opportunity. She just needs a 5-1-1, so she's brought the requirement down significantly with her previous score. However, the bad news is breathing right down her neck, literally. It's the intense figure of Yolanda Hopkins, who has priority, and she'll make that pay.
She'll sit on the back of Tessa, that's for sure. She does not want this final to go away. It's so important for those girls. You mentioned earlier the 3000 QS are so important compared to the 1000. Semi-final is already a pretty nice result. Let's see what Tessa has on offer here. Yes, but unfortunately the wave does not look like great.
Looking for the 5-1-1. She's not going to get it with that. And I think that's going to be it for her. 30 on the clock. Not sure she's going to be able to find another wave. Hopkins is going to take this. I thought she might wait and just look to control it, but she's backing herself to get score. She's going down the line with some speed. Nice snap. She gets a second one. Bang.
Ah.
All right, so a good combination there.
And you see, she could have waited, but she wants to surf, and it's a good sign for the rest of the event.
Relatively surprised she took that, because she has left Thyssen in the lineup right now.
And she's a killer. She wants to kill the opponent.
So here's this combination. How's this going to go with the judges?
Wow, best wave of the heat so far. No doubt about it. And she wants to kill the heat until the last second. We're going to have a great matchup in this final up against Ariane Ochoa. The strong surf of Yolanda up against the strategic surfing of Ariane. It's going to be fun to watch. Pretty nice results, by the way, for Tessa.
Yeah, a great result for her. Almost a sort of carbon copy, really, from Anglet Law. Just no real momentum in the heat, either from herself or just from the waves, essentially. And I think it's the waves that really just kind of starved her of opportunity. And without getting anything going, confidence, the head drops a little bit. And by contrast, just relentless energy from Yolanda Hopkins. Just fighting tooth and nail for every opportunity she gets. She's in the final. She won last week in Lacanau. She's made another final here. Her brother gives her some support on the beach. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to bring in Archie Jekan back in the studio. We're going to have men's semi-final #1. Flying high on the Challenger Series, Ramzi Boukiam taking on Tim Bisso real soon.